Homes under $120,000 in Spain's most ignored region. Sounds fake, right? Not a scam, not a dusty tourist trap with 3 donkeys and a souvenir shop. This is Murcia. Suspiciously cheap, surprisingly beautiful, and always hiding a catch. Today, we're diving into the wildest listings. The townhouse with 2 kitchens and an Andalusian courtyard. The Gulf View apartment under $200K, and the 5-bed, 2,852 square foot beast at the same price. But there's always a catch. And trust me, you're not ready for what's next. Like and subscribe, your escape plan lives here. By the end, you'll either pack your bags or wonder why it's so cheap. Let's break it down. The $111,000 ground floor steal in Garcilages. You're not supposed to find 1,200 square feet of sunshine in Spain for $111,000. Not in 2025, not anywhere. But here it is, quiet, plain-looking Garcilages, a tiny pocket just outside Murcia City, handing you a deal cheaper than a parking spot in New York. Yes, a parking spot. Let that sink in while your rent cries in the background. Garcilages isn't flashy. It's the kind of place where you wake up to mountain silhouettes instead of traffic noise, and the strongest scent in the air is someone making fresh bread. The landscape is classic Murcia. Distant peaks, dry golden hills, palm trees that look permanently relaxed, and that soft, warm light Spain does better than anyone. Murcia City is only minutes away, with its Baroque cathedral, long river walk, and plazas where old men argue about soccer like it's a national emergency. But here in Los Garres, life moves slow. Good slow. Now the apartment, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, 1,205 square feet, and a layout that feels bigger than it looks on paper. You get a bright living room, a full kitchen, a utility patio, and a 97 square foot terrace that's basically a built-in coffee ritual. The east-west orientation means sunlight slides through those double-glazed windows almost all day. There's parking, storage, and an elevator. And the best part, no buyer commission. Yes, for once in your life, the fine print is your friend. The twist? It's a ground floor unit in a super quiet, not fancy neighborhood. Great for peace. Not great if you want nightlife outside your door. And Murcia drivers? They treat roundabouts like personality tests. Nobody passes. But if this $111,000 deal has you blinking twice, wait till you see the townhouse with almost the same price. The 1-bed time capsule in Era Alta. Here's something you don't see every day. A fully furnished Spanish townhouse for $115,000. Yes, an entire 1,098 square foot home for the price of a used car in California. And the wild part? It's not a scam, not a burnout shell, not a bring your own walls situation. It's a real home sitting in Era Alta. One of Murcia's older, quieter neighborhoods where life hasn't changed much since flip phones were cool. Era Alta feels like a tiny time capsule. You walk outside and hear church bells instead of sirens. You smell fresh bread from the corner panaderia. You see old stone homes lined up like they've been gossiping for 200 years. Murcia City is only minutes away, with its palm-lined streets, the famous Baroque cathedral, weekly markets, and the Segura River cutting through the center like a shiny green ribbon. But Era Alta? It keeps things simple. Local cafes, friendly neighbors, and streets where everyone walks like they've got nowhere urgent to be. Now the house. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1,098 square feet, and stuffed with furniture that, if we're honest, probably cost more than the listing price. You walk in and it feels lived in, warm, a little nostalgic. There's AC, though it sometimes wheezes like a tired donkey climbing a hill. You get appliances, Spanish tile, thick walls, and those classic Mediterranean quirks, like doors that creak dramatically for no reason at all. The catch? It's a 1-bedroom, great for a couple, a solo buyer, or someone who really enjoys personal space. Not great if you plan on hosting 8 cousins during summer. Still, a move-in ready townhouse for $115,000 is almost rude. And if this little time capsule made your jaw drop, wait till you see the townhouse with 2 kitchens and an Andalusian courtyard. The 2-kitchen Andalusian daydream you didn't know you needed. You ever see a house that looks normal on the outside, and then you walk in and think, oh, this was built by someone who really took cooking seriously? Yeah, welcome to Javali Nuevo, a sleepy little village near Murcia where life moves slow, neighbors say hi whether you want them to or not, and this 3,014 square foot townhouse shows up for only $140,000 like it's no big deal. Imagine, you wake up, step outside, and the first thing you hear is church bells and someone's uncle arguing about oranges. Javali Nuevo sits just minutes from Alcantarilla, surrounded by dusty hills, sunny skies, and that classic Murcia calm where the biggest local event is a festival parade that somehow lasts 4 hours. The streets? Narrow, warm, full of flowers, and probably hiding at least one cat with too much confidence. Now the property. This thing is huge. Spread out, American in a big truck huge. You get 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and not 1 but 2 kitchens. An indoor one for normal people, and an outdoor one for the kind of person who grills at 7 a.m. Because why not? The courtyard is a full Andalusian-style hangout spot with tile floors, plants, shadows that look dramatic at sunset, and, let's be honest, courtyard cats that walk around like they pay rent. There's a fireplace, air conditioning, tons of storage, and it's fully furnished. Yes, furnished, as in, you could land here with 2 suitcases and instantly live your midlife crisis in Spain dream. All for cheaper than a parking space in Los Angeles. If you think 2 kitchens is wild, wait till you see what $162,000 gets you right next to the tram. This next one changes the whole game. The tram-side apartment students fight for. You know that one place in every college town? The one every student wants but only 3 lucky humans ever get? Yeah, this is that place. Except it's in Espinardo, Murcia's unofficial student kingdom where backpacks outnumber people and coffee shops open before the sun does. You wake up, step onto your little balcony, and you're close enough to the Juan de Borbon tram stop that you can basically count passengers' freckles. Espinardo sits right next to UCAM, which means the streets are full of bikes, loud debates about soccer, and endless lines at any cafe selling a $2 pastry. Now the apartment itself. 1,141 square feet of bright, modern, minimalist space for $162,000. Yes, you read that right. In America, you'd get a parking space and maybe a high five. Here, you get 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, big windows, clean white walls, and a layout that feels like someone actually planned it. The kitchen is simple and neat. The living room is wide enough for actual furniture, not just a beanbag, and the bedrooms feel sized for humans, not lab mice. And the golden ticket, a private garage plus a storage room. In a student-heavy area. That's like owning a throne. Meanwhile, outside, students fight gladiator style for street parking while you just press a button and glide into your own spot. And just when you think it can't get cheaper, wait until you see the brand new eco bungalows for $174,000. The plot twist no one is ready for. The eco bungalow in the middle of and everywhere you want. A brand new eco bungalow villa in Fuente Alamo for under $174,000 is the kind of listing that makes US buyers stare at their screen and whisper, how? This is a 2-bed, 2-bath, 753 square foot new build with smart features, clean lines, and a layout that feels sharp and modern rather than tiny. The interior comes fully fitted with white lacquered closets, ducted AC, a video intercom, electric blinds, and a kitchen with appliances already installed. No move-in ready scam here. Outlets straight, walls fresh, and 0 mysterious stains. A solar panel system and aerothermal water heater push running costs way down, and the eco materials keep the space cool in summer and warm in winter. The ground floor model includes a private garden, a real patch of outdoor space for morning coffee, a grill setup, or plants that may or may not survive. The upper floor layout offers a private rooftop solarium, perfect for outdoor dining or a small lounge corner. Both versions include clean finishes, simple lines, and that new construction smell no candle can copy. Fuente Alamo itself sits about 22 miles from Cartagena and 35 miles from Murcia City, giving the bungalow access to 2 major hubs while keeping a slower pace. The village has local cafes, classic Murcian charm, and easy roads leading out toward the coast. Shops and services sit roughly 4 miles away, close enough for convenience, far enough to keep noise and crowds at a distance. Head east from the calm streets of Fuente Alamo, cruise past open fields and the coast pulling closer, and Pulpe appears with a whole new deal waiting. Golf and sea view apartment that should cost double. Here's the kind of listing that makes real estate agents blink twice. $181,000 for a modern 1-bed, 1-bath, 818 square foot apartment overlooking a golf course and the Mediterranean in the US. That price might buy a parking space, a tool shed, or a sad studio with a window facing a wall. But in Pulpi, it buys a clean, new-build apartment with views you'd normally see on a screensaver. The apartment sits beside Aguilon Golf, one of those palm-lined, deep green courses where the golf carts act like they're auditioning for Mario Kart. The whole area stretches between rugged mountains and the open sea, giving the terrace real main character energy during sunset. Pulpi is known for calm beaches, sleepy mornings, and that giant geode cave nearby that looks like Superman's vacation home. The coastline stays quiet even in summer, and the water stays that spotless blue that makes tourists suspicious. The unit comes with a large terrace, parking, storage, and access to a pool and gym. Everything is modern. Double-glazed windows, ducted AC, and a layout that actually feels open, not chopped into awkward corners. The catch? Just one bedroom, so long-stay guests might need turns claiming the couch. And yes, the community fees exist, but the views fight back hard. Next, the home with a gym and paddle courts is somehow waiting on deck. The 2,800 square foot Fix Me If You Dare giant in Chura. Some listings whisper. This one kicks the door open with 2,852 square feet of Are You Sure energy. For $184,000 in Chura, the price looks like someone typed the numbers backward. This isn't a cute fixer-upper. This is a full-size challenge. Part townhouse, part warehouse, part choose-your-own-adventure. Inside sits a 5-bed, 2-bath layout stretched across a structure that's older than most smartphones, cars, and maybe a few viewers. The warehouse area adds even more space, wide enough to store equipment, set up a workshop, or reenact home renovation meltdowns. Every corner feels unfinished, waiting for someone with vision, or someone who just loves buying paint in bulk. The walls show age, the floors show stories, and the layout has that old Murcia charm where rooms appear in places that don't follow modern logic. But the raw volume, hard to beat. Nearly 2,900 square feet means future value, future rental potential, or future bragging rights. Chura itself is a strategic jackpot. Big malls down the street, the tram close enough to honk at you, and sports perks that feel mispriced. Gym, paddle, tennis, basketball, amenities usually seen in pricier communities. And just when you think the list can't get stranger, the next one changes the mood completely. Resort life apartment where winter practically stops time. Some places feel like someone quietly pressed the slow motion button. This 958 square foot apartment in Condado de Alhama does that the moment you step in, like the air itself is on vacation. And the shock? It sits at $214,000, which is wild for a full resort setup that tries very hard to act like Mallorca's younger, cheaper cousin. You walk into 2 beds, 2 baths, all clean lines and modern finishes. The living room opens straight to a terrace where the summer kitchen waits. Basically a little outdoor setup that lets you grill, sip, and judge golfers from a distance. The place comes with a pool, a garden area, parking, storage, and enough open space to make 958 square feet feel much bigger than it looks on paper. Inside the resort, the world moves slow. Too slow sometimes. In winter, the calm gets so quiet you start hearing your own thoughts. Golfers march out at sunrise like they're in training camp, and the echo of their carts becomes the unofficial morning alarm. Condado itself sits between Murcia and Mazarón. Flat fields, warm winds, and that dusty gold landscape the Costa Cálida is known for. Grocery store? On-site restaurants? On-site. Car needed? Absolutely. Leave the quiet golf resort, drive northeast past farms and dusty hills, and soon the next region pops up with a whole new vibe. The triplex that feels like someone handed you extra levels for free. 2,045 square feet, 3 floors, 3 bathrooms, and an attic big enough to host a small summer camp, all for $218,000. In most places, that price buys a sad studio with a little bit of character, they said, but here in Santa Mara, it buys a mini-universe. The main floor opens with a big living area, clean tile, and an independent kitchen that feels made for real cooking, not pretend salad cooking. The 40 square foot terrace gives a view of the quiet suburb life, the type where dogs nap in the shade and nobody honks unless absolutely forced. Upstairs, the 3 bedrooms all come with wardrobes, individual heating, and enough space to stop elbow fights. The 3 full baths mean the morning rush doesn't feel like airport security. And then comes the attic. Open, bright, half-finished in that imagine the possibilities way. Extra bedroom, studio, Lego kingdom, go wild. Down below, a closed garage gives parking, storage, and emotional safety from Santa Mara's July sun, which hits 105 degrees Fahrenheit like it's trying to test your survival skills. Plants don't stand a chance. Santa Mara itself is calm, warm, and wrapped in golden fields. Murcia City sits just minutes away, with its Baroque cathedral and long cafe streets. And just when the price ceilings seem clear, the number one on our list bends the rules again. Mediterranean villa that looks straight out of Tuscany. And the first look at this place hits like a travel ad you weren't ready for. Sun-washed stone, warm wood, and a villa that feels imported from Tuscany but somehow costs $257,000 instead of your entire life savings. And yes, this is still Murcia, the region everyone forgets until they see prices like this and suddenly remembers. Inside, the layout stretches across 1,884 square feet, all on one clean level. 2 wide bedrooms, 1 bright bathroom, and a living space that can actually fit real furniture, not the apartment-sized version sold in city stores. The kitchen opens to the terrace, so breakfast can slide straight outdoors. The plot spreads across 4,456 square feet, enough room for a garden, a hammock corner, and maybe a lemon tree if the Spanish sun allows it. The solarium sits up top, perfect for late-night stargazing or pretending to write a novel down the path. The communal pool glows under palm trees, quiet, wide, and never crowded thanks to the countryside vibe. Fuente Alamo itself rests between rolling fields and old farm roads, but it's still only 20 minutes from Cartagena's Roman ruins and Mazaron's beaches, calm days, blue skies, no rush. Murcia really is the plot twist of Spain. Quiet, sun-drenched, and accidentally affordable, like a region the world forgot to mark up. One minute it looks ordinary, the next it's throwing $180,000 golf views and $250,000 villas at you like it's no big deal. So, which property is calling your name? The attic triplex, the golf resort dream, the Tuscany look-alike villa, or is it something else? Just drop it in the comment. And hey, like this video because one day you'll want to flee your life. Subscribe because your escape plan officially lives here.